Nick Bonito caught the ball, ran down the field, turned to Anthony Richardson, jumped in the air, and grabbed his crotch.
Yes, he did. What do you think, 15,000, 25,000? What's the number?
Do we need to kick in? Whatever the number is. When Broncos country kick in? Nick Bonito, that play, Kev, you kick in a little, right? Let's go. I got 5 on it.
I got 5 on it?
No.
Oh, come on.
If he wins me my defensive player of the year bet, then
All
yeah.
right.
I get out. As no one cares about your parlay, Kev.
Well, Nick Bonito does.
Yeah, I just can't get that image out of my head. It was an amazing play, an outstanding play from Bonito. And I mean, that's it, Cease. The Jonathan Taylor fumble and the Nick Bonito touchdown. That saved the bacon of the Denver. Well, I don't want to leave Marvin Mims out of this.
Right.
Because his 97 return yards were also absolutely outstanding. His second return, I had never seen this, to be fair. I don't really look for it a ton. I'm not watching the sideline to see how Sean Payton reacts to anything. But it jumped out because Marvin makes the run. He's out of bounds near our side of the field where we're sitting in the press box. And it's Payton running down to congratulate and smack up the helmet of Marvin Mims because of that moment being so big for the game.
Yeah, I think he was wearing 5s yesterday. But that moment where Mims is pointing to Drew Sanders to be like, get out there and block.
Oh, yeah.
That was so awesome. Anytime a return man can point out to the guy in front of him, like, no, go this way. It was fantastic. Wanted to see him score. He didn't need to. Broncos ended up scoring anyway, but that was such a great play. So special teams and defense help lead the way for the Denver Broncos. It's not always going to be there with the offense. Sometimes it's not going to be there with the defense. Jerry Jeudy tore this team up defensively last time out, but the offense was able to get the win against the Browns. This time, the Colts, well, their defense had the plan that worked against the Broncos. One-armed offense, they can't run the ball. My buddy Gabe just texted me. Shout out Gabe, who listens in San Diego every day.
Oh, what
and
a
he's
life.
like, dude, exactly. And he's a comic book artist.
Oh, are you kidding me?
He lives in San Diego.
Freaking
He
Gabe,
says,
way to go.
do the Broncos have a running back problem or do they have a blocking problem? I said, well, they're number 5 in run block win rate. He says, so we got to draft a good back. I said, yep. I said, how about Gente? He says, hopefully with the 32nd pick.
Oh, wow.
So just like Kev says, eventual Super Bowl champion, that's what Gabe is saying as well. But, your offense is kind of half of what they need to be. You've got some receivers. You've got some playmakers. You do have tight ends. They don't get used much, and they're not, Travis Kelce or George Kittle or whatever. But you saw Nate Atkins with a touchdown. You saw, of course, Adam Troutman with a touchdown. Lucas Kroll with a couple of big catches to help the chains keep moving. And you just can't run the ball. It's not a running back, it's not a run blocking issue. They can block. They can get guys out of the way. It's the guys behind him. It's Javonte being sluggish and slow and dancing too much. That's a horrible combination, by the way.
The holes are there. They're not even picking the right hole, but they're not picking a hole in time to make a play.
And then when they do, it's already closed and collapsed. Estime can't get any work. And I feel bad for him. He did get in after Jaleel was banged up.
He was on his way to not touching the football, though.
Exactly. And that's not what you want going in. We'll see Jaleel's status for this week on Thursday. But you've got to do something. If that's Tyler Bidet, if Jaleel's down, and then Bidet can do it. He was going to do it against the Jets game before he was hurt. Is that an answer? Where's Blake Watson? Something. They have to find some sort of answer or just give Estime the ball more.
I thought that was the play. I thought we were going to see that down this stretch, really the final 4, the end of the month here, that it would have been a ton of Audric Estime. Jaleel McLaughlin gets hurt. They were still trying to force stuff to the outside for Jaleel to get to the edge, and he wasn't really able to do that. But look at Javonte. 6 rushes for 15 yards, but he had 1 that went for 4. So really he had 5 for 11. 5 for 11. We're getting back to that 2-point-something when it comes to average per carry for Javonte Williams. And that's just flat out not good enough, man. Javonte, I hope maybe a change of scenery, something changes for him, but it's over in a Broncos uniform. Javonte Williams, he will be moving on, and they will be looking to replace his production.
Yeah,
or
and
lack thereof.
If you want to win more games this year, and you're already at 9 with 3 games to go, you got to figure out a way to run the ball. And that can help settle down Bo Nix. When Bo Nix is out there making throws and Sutton's either in the wrong position or not bodying up a defender, whatever was going on with Cortland Sutton on 2 of those 3 picks. We know Sean Payton was upset with Court on 2 of those 3 picks. So, we'll talk about that.
Real quick, how much of that is Sean protecting his little booby that's Bo, or really, really on Cortland Sutton?
I think it's the latter. I think he's just really on court.
Okay.
Like, again, I don't know the play calls, but I got the coach's tape, and you could blame those 2 picks on Sutton. Now, I don't, but Sean did, or at least he seemed to, and then he blamed himself after the game. So I will answer your question with a question. Is Sean Payton the type of guy to cover up for his boo?
Yes, I think he is.
Really?
Well,
Sean Payton's the type of guy to cover up his own ass, not his boo.
See, I've never been in a Sean Payton world with a boo. I know Sean Payton with the non-boo that is Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson,
And
right.
He
The
definitely
anti-boo.
wasn't covering up for him. He was throwing him under the bus every opportunity he was given.
Right.
And actually still continues to do that, which I don't mind. But
You're here for the spite.
yes, absolutely. I'm very petty. I'm a petty person, and I enjoy the pettiness from others. That's why Kevin and I get along so well. He keeps the list, And I'm telling you that I'm going off of what my example is. I don't know how he treated Drew Brees or what it was like in the media with Drew Brees. I didn't cover the Saints. But he's protecting Bo for sure. He is protecting.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I would take the opposite of that.
Really?
Yeah, Sean Payton's just going to tell you, you're not good enough, girl. Like, that's what he'll tell you.
But he didn't say that about. Let's hear it. This is actually what he said about Bo's bad game.
Listen, I get mad at myself. A couple of the calls I gave him, and he had one read that he knows better. But look, it was just one of those nights where we weren't as efficient, especially against a zone defense like that. You're not going to hit as many big plays, but I think early on he was like 6 for 8, but then there were just a few forced throws and then a few calls that were done by me that I've got to be better.
I guess even in there he's saying Bo has to be better. And or he knows better, and then afterwards he has to be better with some of those throws.
Yeah, and
but
then,
he starts with it's on me, and then at the end it's on me again.
he said dumb calls.
Yeah.
He said the dumb calls are on me.
And can you imagine if we asked that? Sean, Josh over here, 104.3 The Fan. There's some dumb calls tonight. What went into that?
You'd be like, get out. You don't get a cupcake.
Right.
You'd be like leaving the bridal shower and bridesmaids. You do not get a dog. You do not get a cupcake. You don't get that if you're asking that question. But he said it, and he's the type. He discovered electricity, man. Like he's not the type of guy to pull punches.
Well,
I don't care if it's his boo or not. I think he would call out Bo if Bo was blanking up. If Bo was just it's all flipping out on Bo. I'm trying not to cuss, Kev. Get my back. Like if Bo was just blanking up there, I believe Sean Payton would tell us, and have no problem telling us.
Yeah, I wonder if he's doing it even more than what we hear there to Bo's in person, face to face. After the game, we're sitting there in the post game. You know how it goes. Like, we're waiting for Sean, waiting for Bo. They're having the conversation at Dub Club or Club Dub, whatever they call it,
right,
with wins. And then there's the one-on-one with Sean and Bo. I wonder if he's saying it there. Probably. Or is it more protection? I don't think Bo needs the protection either.
No, and I don't think Sean wants to. He doesn't want to protect his guy. He wants to yell at him.
Yeah.
Right? And Bo wants to yell back. But if it's dumb calls, Sean's words, not mine. If it's, he did say Bo had one read that he'd want back. Yeah, we know which one that is. It's the 3rd interception.
Yep.
Like, Bo's got to make better decisions. So I think it was a collapse of both.
Bo knew on the 3rd one immediately. He put his hands on his head, bent over in frustration. He knew immediately that was on him.
Yeah. So, it's just one of those games where what they tried didn't work. And so afterwards you can say, hey, we won, but I got to be better. He's got to be better. That's what I think it is, more so than Bo. But, what do the texters think? What do our fans think of, is Sean covering for Bo? I just don't think he would.
I'd love to have your input on that, Broncos country. 303-713-1043, ramoslaw.com text line. You think he's protecting him or taking the blame when unnecessary? Because I think those are 2 different conversations. I do believe he's protecting him. I don't think he's taking the blame unnecessarily here. Sean was bad yesterday, too.
Yeah, he was.
Sean was bad and Bo was bad. They both got saved by Vance Joseph, his defense, and Marvin Mims as a punt returner.
Yes. And you heard it in the comments from Sean Payton where he's like, especially against zone. We're not going to get a bunch of big plays. And they kept trying to make the big play happen. You can't force it. In the NFL, it has to be organic. There's a certain chemistry to a game. And when you're not playing well, you just kind of have to ride out that chemistry until you start clicking. You have to change things. You have to adapt. You have to make adjustments. Defensively, they made adjustments. You could see it in that third quarter. Offensively, it wasn't until Sutton ran the stutter go, and it was a thing of beauty. But there were concerns before that. They can't run the ball, and Sean's got to call a better game. Bo's got to make better decisions. But I think Sean's game plan has to be better for this Chargers game, who is a much better team.
Yeah. And you and I were keeping track of it in the first half, and then I kind of, especially when Jaleel goes down,
you haven't said this yet.
No running back got more than 3 straight attempts, 3 straight snaps on the field.
That's terrible.
And we talk about rhythm and routine and establishing, not just for the backs, but you and I have said, how about the offensive line?
Right.
That needs to have, it's Jaleel. I know how he's cooking today. Oh, it's Javonte. Well, get ready for 2 yards and falling over. It's Audric. What's that going to look like? Nobody had more than 3 straight carries through the first half. How can anybody establish rhythm and routine if that's the method that Sean Payton is putting forth?
Well, Sean said it. He had some dumb calls. Again, it's his words, not mine. Don't get mad at me, Sean. To rotate your backs every other play, because Jaleel started, and then Javonte was in on the second play, and then Jaleel was in on the third play.
Yep.
That's dumb. Sorry. Like that, you're never going to get into a rhythm that way. Javonte, we're not making excuses for him, but he can't do anything when he's on the field. He's off the field. He's in the field. He's pass blocking. Then he's running. Then he's not running. Then he's dancing. Then he's losing yards. And Jaleel can't get in any sort of rhythm because they don't trust him. It's completely obvious. They don't trust him in pass protection because if it's a big third down, you know that 33 is going to be out there, not 38. And that's just wrong-headed, man. You not give him a series like, hey, Jaleel starts, he gets the entire first series.
I agree with you 100% on this.
And then the second series, it's Javonte. If Jaleel's not hot, then it's Javonte. And honestly, I'd go Audric in the second series. And then if Audric's not hot in the full series, whether that's 3 plays or 11 plays, then it's time for Javonte. Because you have to find a way to get these backs into a rhythm, and that's on Sean Payton.
You're 100% right. A few of the texters are saying, I did feel like he was covering for him last night. Yeah.
So people are agreeing with you.
He's baby him a little bit. Yeah. So far they have.
Does Sean Payton baby people? He was yelling at him in the Raiders game.
Yeah, but it's also, I keep going back to the Mike Tomlin thing. What's Mike Tomlin always tell people? I'm not going to treat you equally. I'll treat you fairly based on who you are. Bo Nix is different.
He's
than
a quarterback.
Everyone else. He's the quarterback, and he's a rookie quarterback. Now, I don't think Bo is mentally weak and needs the coddling or hand-holding.
Not at all.
But I think it's maybe something that Sean is, hey, I don't want to ruin this kid's confidence. I don't want, again, go back to Russell Wilson last year. I don't want that deer in the headlights stare from my guy when I'm challenging him a little bit. And this is me speculating again. Maybe it's something Sean's worried about. Like if I go too hard on Bo, I get that, oh, all right, I'll just do whatever you want me to do then kind of moment from Bo Nix.
I don't think Bo's built that way.
I don't either, but I'm saying this is what I'm speculating maybe Sean is believing.
I think Sean does what Sean does, and you have to respond to him.
Okay.
So he doesn't give a damn how you respond. How would Sean Payton coach Jamal Murray?
Oh, I'd love to see that.
And Michael Malone's done a hell of a job. Okay, we're taking another away from Coach Malone.
Rookie, too. Does that have anything to do with it?
Yeah, maybe, but I just don't think he pulls punches. He'll maybe soften some stuff publicly, but I don't think he's protecting Bo, or one of the texters said he's babying Bo. Nah, man, Bo didn't play a good game. Sean didn't call a good game. And when it's like that, it's like, as Bo said, when somebody talked about, like, hey, when your receivers drop passes, do you say something? He's like, with the way that I played, I can't say anything. I don't think Sean can say anything. With the way that Bo played, Sean really can't say anything except, my bad, I didn't have a good game plan.
I love, he always calls himself this, but Fatty Matty from, I believe it's Wheat Ridge, he is agreeing with you. I don't think he's protecting Bo. He knew his play calls were god-awful, especially on third down. And when we're 3rd and 2 and he's throwing deep downfield, Sean is turning into a guy that needs to take some accountability. So Fatty Matty agreeing with you a little bit right there. Yeah, some of that, we've talked about that stuff, trying to get too cute, right? And it's, I mean, they don't have an identity as an offense. So I want to say, like, you don't need to be cute, because if you're good at something, I could tell you what I'm doing and I'm still going to beat you at it because I'm that good at it. They don't have that luxury. Didn't have it with Bo for sure yesterday.
Right.
And they haven't had it with the running back room through 15 weeks. So you can't go, Here's Michael Burton and Javonte Williams. We need 2 yards. Guess what we're going to do? Because you can't trust Javonte to get those 2 yards.
Yeah, they're going to flip it to Mike Burton.
Right. They did the flip to Javonte that time.
Which
remember?
is terrible. The big man. Let's flip the play, the toss play to the big man who gets 2 yards of carry if you're lucky. Mike Tomlin said, what? I'll treat you fairly but not equally?
But not equally, yeah.
You
Or
see
it's the other way around. I'll treat you equally but not fairly. Like
something.
basically like if you're a quarterback, you're going to get
get a little different.
If you're TJ Watt, you get a little bit more of a pass.
Did you see what he said to the official yesterday?
Oh, get the bleep away from me.
Get the bleep out of here. Yeah, get the bleep away from me. So, yeah, okay, maybe Sean says that. I don't know, but I know that I feel good after this game. I don't know if you do, brother. I've been trying to take your pulse for 2 hours. I can't get a read on you. I love your Maxi sweater.
Thank you.
Your Nuggets sweater. If you're watching us on YouTube, hi YouTube, what's up? Your outfits always get so many compliments. Your Nuggets jacket on
thanks.
Friday, people started going, I love that jacket,
Yeah.
Dover. So, hey YouTube, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you never miss a vid. So I appreciate your wear, but I still can't tell, I'm not okay with the way that they played. I don't want to sound like whatever,
Yeah.
it's fine. I'm pissed that they look like crap, but I'm so happy that they won and won big. But I can't tell if you're happy, sad, disappointed.
I mean, I'm happy. They have a 91% chance to make the playoffs. I'm happy about that. I can't give a pass to Bo. I can't. I'm Team Bo. You and I have been that from the jump. We have been that since April as a show, 10-2 here. But I just can't. He was bad yesterday, man. He's missing reads. That now again, it's a little different. We're sitting up high. We get the perspective of kind of the eagle eye view. But he cut half the field off. Basically, what side Cortland was on was the side that Bo was working. That's where he was going. He was so late on some of those throws. He was just so out of character for Bo Nix. So I'm down on his one-day performance.
Okay.
I'm not down on him as a whole. And then on the other end of that, I'm really high on VJ, on Nick Benito, on Marvin Mims, on the special teams unit
Right.
as a whole. There's 10 other guys on the field while Marvin's busting out 60-yard returns, and they deserve as much credit as Marvin does as well. So I'm stoked that they are 9-5.
Right.
They have 9 freaking wins,
Yeah,
Cecil.
it's awesome.
They have 9 freaking wins.
I'm
in
going to be
December.
wrong in my prediction of 9
in
wins.
the best possible way.
Yes.
So I am ecstatic about that. I mean, anybody that says they support the Broncos should be over the moon that they have 9 wins. But I am worried about what I saw out of Bo. And I'm worried about, you said it earlier, like an element game. It was windy as hell on the field down there. Now we've seen rain where he can't hold the ball and a windy game where he's just putting it in wrong spots. Now, I don't think the wind caused his interceptions, but it's just my mind saying, like, well, there's 2 games
Most of his
now.
passes to Marvin were off the mark.
And it's ball placement. That's another one where
Which
those are
is
just
not like him.
Screen things where you put it on Marvin's chest on the right shoulder pad. He already has an advantage against the defense.
I'm going to
so.
make you feel better, though, with one statement.
All right.
Bo Nix had the worst game of his rookie season, and he threw 3 touchdowns, and they won 31-13.
You're right.
Bo Nix
You're right.
had the worst game of his rookie season, and he threw 3 touchdowns, and they won 31-13. Just keep that in the back of your mind, man. Like, that's finding a way to win. Young guy's going to struggle.
And that's what I mean. I'm so hype on the other units here. Because,
How hype?
Oh,
Are you
dude,
Sturtsy hype?
I am so hype.
Can you be
on the
hype like
other
that?
units.
Or is there only one hype?
I mean, he's the hype god. He's the hype legend.
Yes.
That defense and the special teams way. You know what it made me feel?
It turns us on. It turns us on. It's kind of sexy, matter of fact.
That's how it made me feel.
Okay.
And those are some of the bigger questions about this Broncos team. We said the depth, right? Is that when you're out of the rebound and when the rebuild is when you're too deep is solid. I was disappointed in Bo Nix. I don't want to say I'm down on Bo Nix. Disappointed is the term, but I'm very surprised a little surprised that the defense and the special teams were able to pick up the slack the way that they were. I think that's where I'm at. Ecstatic about 9 wins. Like, if you're not, then you might need to turn in your Broncos card. Straight up.
Yeah.
If you're not happy about where this team is, can you have questions about Bo Nix? Sure. We're doing it today, and I don't know if there's a bigger show in this freaking market that has Bo's back the way that we do. But when he struggles, we're going to call it out and talk about it. But if you're down today in Broncos country, sitting at 9 wins on December 16th, with a rookie quarterback that has checked pretty much every box that he needs to check, he and Sean were both bad, but that fit is fabulous for the Denver Broncos. If you're down today and you don't believe today, show up to our studio. I'm collecting your Bronco cards at 2 o'clock. You can't have them anymore.
2:15.
Ah, 215. Yeah, we got to do crosstalk. I always forget about that.
I will say this. You can be happy today. Don't you dare be satisfied.
No.
Don't you dare ever be satisfied. And that's why I'm a little mad at the promo we're running with the big voice saying, like, they did it, guys, they did it. And I understand it's been since 2016 and the fantasy season of Trevor Siemian, because that was a complete fantasy.
They were never going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Trevor wasn't going to do anything. Nice guy, really good guy. It was always good to me, even though I was a jerk to him all the time. But yeah, the nice Skittles jacket. But that was always a fantasy.
Yeah.
This is real. This is 1,000% real. You're building something special with Bo Nix as your quarterback. So you can be happy they have 9 wins. Don't be down after a 31-13 victory. Don't be down after Bo Nix's worst performance of his rookie season and he threw 3 touchdowns. You can be happy, but don't dare be satisfied. Because if this team starts clicking, they still haven't played a perfect game.
No. We haven't seen offense, defense, special teams all fire on the same day.
If they do, they can beat anybody.
Yeah.
Think about that. Detroit, pretty good, right?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Buffalo, pretty good. Zach Bye, don't get it offended as you like. They can beat anybody if all 3 phases are clicking. We haven't seen that. We saw 2 yesterday, 2 of the 3, and then the third one that wasn't clicking was really, really, really bad.
Yeah, 100%. Broncos country, hit us up, 303-713-1043, ramoslaw.com text line. Where you at after a win, but it didn't look or really feel the way any of us wanted to. I mentioned guys going down. We saw Quinn Miners. We saw Jaleel McLaughlin. We already know about Riley Moss. And then PS2 had an ankle injury on his interception late in that game. They do play on Thursday.
Yeah.
Any worry about, I think Riley Moss, we know.
Yeah.
But McLaughlin, Miners, PS2, any worry there about their
Miners,
availability?
no. McLaughlin, yes. And honestly, if Tyler Baday's ready, I just want to see Tyler Baday.
I wouldn't mind either.
I'm done with this fantasy of Javonte. I'm done with the fantasy of Jaleel. Like, I'm done with it. I'm done with even waiting for Estime. I'm just done. I want somebody that can actually produce at the running back position. Is that, wait, Tyler Baday? Hey, you? Okay, done. Blake Watson, where you at? Like, done. Yeah. I don't care. I'm just done. I'm done. Wait. Oh, and he was a great. Like, no. And by the way, that hit from Josh Downs was not dirty. If he went about, what is that, 8 inches? If he went a little bit lower, he would have destroyed his career. Mm-hmm. Okay? Downs hit him in the thigh pad, which, by the way, is a PS3 thigh pad because he has the PS controller, the PlayStation controller on his thigh pad, and he's PS2. But technically, because of the select button, it's actually a PS3 controller.
Oh, so I hate to be that guy, but
I'm not going to tell Pat that. I kind of want to, though, so he fixes it. Because as a gamer, it kind of bothers me. I'm like, that's actually a PlayStation 3 controller. So that's for your son, Pat. That's not for you. You're PS2. But if Josh, because I saw people like Josh Downs with the dirty hit. No.
He was at his thighs. I mean, it's all right.
Surtain got up. He made himself tackleable. Is that a word?
Tackleable.
Tackling fuel, right? And if Downs had went at his knees, he would have ended his season.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Because
that would have been a dirty hit.
And by the way, I did see PS2 in the locker room after. He got treatment, did a tape job, and then walked right back to his locker. No limp.